call it tough love and tell me that I'm okay. Kick me out the car and watch me from the rear view mirror. So cold you'll freeze before the sundown. You're so cold you leave me in our hometown.
Welcome to the first ever in-person podcast that we have decided to do on this channel. We've been talking about this for a while now.
Yeah, it's only the longest ongoing podcast with the fewest episodes on YouTube. It has to be.
It's honestly kind of impressive how many times, like, if you go back and watch, like, I think we're at 10 or 11 episodes of these. half of them are, hey, we're back.
Yeah.
Before
and guess
big
what?
ass break.
We're back.
Yeah, now we're back for real this time until we're not.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is gonna last literally one episode.
But that's awesome. I mean, we're just checking in, guys. Checking in.
Yeah.
We're like the what was that company? The one that was always going out of business. They always had a blowout sale.
Yeah.
But like in reverse, we're like we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
So.
sure.
But so yeah, we're here here at my house and my home abode, just in Dallas, where Pedro's been my roommate for it's been a year now, right?
Yeah, it's been a little over a year. Yeah.
Yeah. So
About a year and half a month, I think.
yeah, and then Selden's visiting in between his expeditions to, I guess, a new job.
Yeah, sure. We want to jump right into it. We could jump right in. So I'm here visiting two of my best friends on the whole planet, Pedro and Richard.
Yeah.
And we've just been kind of hanging out, not really doing a whole lot. I mean, we're watching a lot of TV, things like that. I'm going to go do a new job soon here, going up north, and then I'll be back down next month. And so that's sort of what I got going on for personal-wise.
Next month is also going to be big because we have actually a lot of really cool stuff.
Right. A lot of
not for content and just for stuff that we're doing. Like, just plan. I'm looking forward to that.
Right, we're doing a bunch of stuff via TFT. I don't even know if it's public by now. I mean, I still haven't sat down and edited a video, but signed a player, Moth, Smash, for Ultimate.
Talk about that.
Yeah, we could talk about it. Yeah, why not?
Fuck it.
Who cares?
Dude, fuck it.
It's our company. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
It's our podcast. It's our company.
Yeah. So, signed a Melee player, Moth. She's going to be a bunch of events. Gommel, CEO. But anything in Florida, and then a couple big majors, Resurgence, some things like that. Video will be coming out pretty soon about that, hopefully. I just need to find a computer with more than 16 gigabytes of RAM, and then I'll lock in and get that done.
Yeah, because he has to make an insane fucking bullshit video that he needs an absurd amount of RAM for, rather than just
It's just
doing
After Effects. It's not my fault
simple...
Adobe is a shitty software. But so that's what we got going on TFT. We also are going to be doing some more travel stuff coming up. And we got a
big
one related to that. You're going to see some familiar faces, maybe some new faces. Who knows? We'll see. It's really exciting. That one.
Do we want to go into that?
It's literally up to you. That one's kind of on your warehouse.
I want to talk about it, but at the same time, I kind of don't.
Right. We can just leave it.
Because if we talk about, we're going to want to talk about the things that we have going on, and I feel like it'll be better if it's kept as a surprise.
Sure.
We
can talk about it afterwards. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah. You know what? That's perfect. We'll have a podcast dedicated to the behind the scenes shit. So
I like that idea.
That's all we'll say about it.
Okay. Pedro, anything else you wanted to hit on? I mean, if it's not already known, I mean, we're sort of out of League of Legends for right now. We're out of basically most stuff that isn't Smash just for right now, just because of the climate of esports.
Yeah, we technically do have one team left in Aegis Champions League. We just lost in a 5-game series to it's not Abandoned Kid, Clown Gaming. So right now we are in losers final. So assuming we win that, we'll go back to grand finals against the same team. It's a pretty close match, but once this tournament is over, we're pretty much done with League for the foreseeable future. It's just way too expensive for what you get back on it. As much as I love it.
Way too much heartache.
Yeah, it's
last year was rough.
Yeah,
it was rough.
I used to look forward to the weekends of. At the beginning of the year was fun.
It was.
But
yes.
The summer, that one that was hard to watch. That was rough.
I thought it was awesome. I don't know what you're talking about. I loved losing so many games.
Pedro and I were coming back from rock climbing for the first game with that roster, and we went 8 at that barbecue place, the 8 hard 8.
Hard 8.
Yeah, hard 8, and we're watching it on our phones, and we're just getting killed.
Yep.
It was one of 2 games, and the first game we were just getting absolutely killed. So it was a quiet dinner. wasn't a whole lot of exchange there. But Pedro was driving, and it's like 40 minutes away from the house. So on the way back home, I'm watching the game, and Pedro's like, don't say anything. Like, I'm like, but we ended up winning the second game, and so we're like, all right, not bad. And I'm pretty sure after that we lost like 6 games in a row.
Yeah.
Like that.
Our first half of the season actually wasn't too bad. We were in like, I don't know, 6th or 7th. And then we threw so hard against Team Liquid. We had like a 10K goal lead and then lost. We should have 2-0'd them. And from that moment on, we just sank. Like that week we went 5-1, but that one throw to Team Liquid was enough to like, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden we couldn't win a game to save our lives.
Yeah, and it was like there were so many notable upsets too that week. So I was like, we were feeling so good.
Yes.
Like, dang, yeah, that was tragic. But right now, I'm really excited about the future though because Moff is really, really good at the game. If you haven't seen any of her, she's got a great personality. Check out the video. It'll probably be on YouTube. Probably honestly around the same time.
But probably before this.
Yeah, but
by
definitely check it
now
out.
it's probably up. Yeah.
Yeah, but really funny. Definitely going to be in more content as a whole too. Like she's just great being on camera, so she'll probably be in just random other stuff. So yeah, we're doing a bunch of traveling or one way or another this next year. So expect to see a lot more of that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And maybe more traveling, maybe a little bit more gambling. Who knows?
Absolutely. I guess we could talk about last year. We did a big trip out to mainly Utah, but with a little sprinkle of Vegas there towards the end. Just a little bit, enough to get the juices flowing.
Oh yeah. Vegas. That time around did pretty good. Next couple times,
That's right. Well, for us, it was only once, but for this guy,
yeah,
he went back for seconds and should not have.
I love Vegas so much. Well, it was so funny. So I was there doing work, production, video shooting for the Esports Awards, but everybody that I was with, when I was talking to them, I was like telling them all the spots in Vegas. Like, we gotta go here, we gotta go here. And everybody's like, "Oh, you come to Vegas all the time?" I was like, "No, I don't come all the time at all, actually." And like, "When's the last time you came here?" I was like, 2 weeks ago. It was like,
it just happened to be your first time.
It was just so funny. And for those of you who are not following, Richard has a little bit of a Gamba series himself on his channel. He is a little bit of a CSGO unboxing fanatic right now.
It's not as bad as it sounds, okay?
It's worse.
No, it's not. It's maintained. Let's just keep it at that.
He's a lot of money.
Last year, I made the horrible decision to get back into fucking Counter-Strike cases, and it's like you guys lost all your money in TFT last year. I lost all mine opening cases, so we're both the same.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But it's too much.
But somebody has a full inventory of shit to show for it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, I made a video last year showing off all the cool shit that me and my group unboxed. I guess we can throw it somewhere in the description.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Whatever, however fucking YouTube works. But honestly, out of all the videos I've ever made, it's probably one of my best. I'm very, very happy with how it came out.
Didn't it even get like a shout out from a big?
Yes, so I sent it to this guy that makes clips. He makes videos showing off like just random people unboxing knives or rare reds or whatever, or cool trade ups. And I sent him my video saying, "Hey, I got a couple of cool ones in here that you can choose to throw into your video." And instead, he used every single one in the video. But he gave me a big shout out too. So I mean, can't really complain. I think the views went up a decent amount. to show that people did reach out. It was actually, it could have been more because there wasn't like a direct link, but I mean he put my fucking name in big letters like, oh, go check this guy, and he specifically said, but this is all the nice stuff, but you need to go check it out because the editing is insane.
Yeah,
So,
that was really cool that he
yeah.
complimented the editing.
Yeah. So but probably gonna do the same thing for this year. So far we're four golds in, which is about where we were last year at this point, but we started a little earlier, so maybe it'd be a little worse. I don't know, but we'll see. Had a pretty successful night a week and a half ago, and we'll just kind of see where things go from there. We're still waiting for that big one.
This train is still rolling. We're still opening crates.
Yeah. Is anyone in the group up?
The only one that can possibly be up is Tony, and by now I don't think so.
Oh,
he hasn't. But the thing is, he hasn't gambled that much.
Mm-hmm.
But so he hasn't hit a knife since last September. But his knife was a butterfly. It was really good, and he unboxed 5 last year. One of them being the fucking insane ruby. But the pricing on the ruby went way down. Once CS2 came out, the skins market tanked harder than anybody thought. So we kind of started at the wrong time, because when we started is when everyone was really getting excited for CS2 and all the skin prices were just skyrocketing. So when we were opening up our knives towards the beginning of the year, like, we're seeing these prices, we're like, oh, this is worth so much money. We're rolling. And then when CS2 came out, something like the way that the skins fluctuate with CS2, they tanked. So Tony's red Ursus, for example, the ruby, was anywhere between $4,000 to $5,000 when he pulled it. Now it's probably like $2,200, which is still a lot of money, but like to show how much it tanked.
Yeah. I mean, I think it probably was a lot of like speculative market too, like people
Yeah.
maybe like over investing, thinking like, oh, it might go up.
Now it is starting to kind of come back up. They had a new case come out a couple months ago that kind of helped with that. But it's funny because the skins in those cases and the new knife, the prices are starting to come down, but everything else is starting to come back up. So it's kind of weird to see where the market is at. People are speculating that there's going to be a new operation, which is kind of like an event that they'll release. It's not necessarily a new case, but it's like a package that'll have new skins, maybe some new knife skins. We'll see. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. That's more than I ever thought I would know about this subject. But when you see that little golden icon like fly into your screen, like, there's nothing like it. So you're hooked.
That's crazy.
Now, I'm not up by any means, so don't let me fool you. I'm probably the most down out of anybody in our group except for Matty Ice, but I'm probably right there with him because my last streak was really rough.
Yeah, he was super stubborn.
Finally got a knife the other night, but there was probably a good 800 cases between golds, which
is actually
insane.
crazy.
What is supposed to...
The average is close to 400. I think the average is like 370 something. So
Wow.
The fact that I made it to like 800 cases with no gold is insane.
Sounds like you're due.
Yeah, well, I was. And I hit, and it wasn't that great. I actually got rid of it today for about a knife that will hold its value a little better. But we'll see. Now I'm starting to like look at inventories in terms of value rather in terms of like, oh, I hit a gold. Like, I'm trying to like dictate how much money like stuff holds and stuff. Like with the inventory that I've been building, most of the stuff that I'm seeking out is fairly expensive, or it's skins that can trade up to really expensive skins. So, but we'll see. I'm just kind of keeping what I have right now, but it's good to keep that stuff in your inventory for if you ever need it for a rainy day or anything like that. Like if you need to pull it out, pull money out, it's always good like that. So
what else is new, Pedro? What else you got for us?
Well, I'm probably closing in on being done living in Dallas. Should be roughly my last month here. So just to give context, I work for a construction company, same one that you used to work for, Stellar, out of Jacksonville, Florida. And we go job to job building for different businesses. This particular one is Salad and Go. They're essentially
Wait, that's what you're building?
yeah.
This whole time it's been a Salad and Go? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
Oh, like a warehouse for it?
It's a warehouse.
their production facility.
Yeah, makes
So yes, we should be wrapped up with it by the end of the month, and then I should get a little bit of time off to do some cool things, and then they'll send me somewhere else. So we'll see what happens.
Time off.
Mm-hmm. It was time off meaning.
Yeah, I was actually my last day was actually supposed to be May 17th, and I was supposed to get roughly a month off, and then now they're asking me to work till the end of the month. So we'll see how that actually goes.
Yeah, we'll see for sure.
Tune in September where Pedro's still here.
Yeah, no kidding. Hopefully by then, this production will be a little bit nicer. We have a little bit more matching cameras and everything like that. We'll get these
maybe
regular.
some higher quality. Yeah.
That'd be fun. We got a few things we need to upgrade for a few different reasons, so we have some pretty good incentive too. So, it'd be fun to keep doing more. It's nice to have the gang kind of back together.
Yeah.
Like a little bit older times, where we were able to like do a bunch of stuff together, like pre-COVID era when everybody had to like.
Yeah, I mean, we've had fun this last week. Like,
Yeah.
last night was great. Like,
That honestly, I didn't realize shuffleboard could be that fun.
yeah,
Dude, shuffle.
that was so much fun.
Yeah, we need one.
I mean, like even the electric like part of it, like playing like different types of game modes
Yeah.
and stuff. Like I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, I'd go back for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Especially since I schooled you guys for the last 7 games. This guy said he'd like play 13 hours of shuffleboard a day or something. Talked about like how good he is, and then we wiped him, man.
Okay.
What's this we? What are you?
You were beating
in
him,
France?
too.
I beat him like a handful of times.
Like, I was
Okay.
Cooking, I was cooking everybody. 3 margaritas later, who knows what happened? Who knows what happened, really? Like,
It's funny because once I started drinking, I was doing better. That's when I started doing good. I was losing everything before then. So there's a little opposite effect there.
no, we need to do a shuffleboard tournament. It'd actually be really fun to like host one.
That would be kinda
That
cool.
would be sick.
Yeah, that'd be super fun.
Maybe like next time, because I know most everybody is like still in Jacksonville and everything. Like maybe we can figure out one there. We fly
Oh yeah,
in for
I
that.
have an idea actually. If you say
Yeah.
Jacksonville, I was almost thinking. I wonder if we could like rent one for like in a convention.
That's what I was wondering. Oh, like one of the
That'd be a
tables?
pain in the ass to set up though.
See, if you get like a rooms to go, they'll bring it, drop it off, and you set it up, and then they'll take it back. From my, I don't know. I could be ignorant on this, but from my understanding, rooms to go seems really easy. Like I could be totally wrong though.
I never even thought about it like that. That's
Yeah. So that would be really fun. Definitely want to do more in real life stuff. We did some rock climbing here. That was really fun, dude. The gyms here were super nice.
Yeah,
that
like-
was really cool.
There's Plano Design District, The Hill, Grapevine, and then I think there's one in Irving. So there's like 5 climbing gyms here, all owned by Movement now. It used to be 2 different gyms, Movement and Summit, but Movement bought out Summit. So what's really cool about them is 4 out of them all have giant top rope walls, and it's super cool. So like a lot of the other gyms you go to, they might be harder technically, but these have more endurance challenge to them, because like you look at a few of them and like, oh, that's pretty easy. I can do that no sweat. And then you get about halfway, 2/3 of the way up there, and you're like, I'm kind of gassed.
no, you're high up. No.
Yeah, trying to finish it off is definitely harder, but it's so cool. I love the gyms here.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Which ones did y'all go to this week?
We went to the one in Plano, which was the first time I've been there. I think it was the first time. There were some things about it that looked familiar, but I wasn't sure. And then we went to what I call the main one, which is Design District.
Yeah, the one downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but rock climb was really cool. Honestly, that was like really. I was really kind of surprised by the gyms. I was really pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Came home, hung out, watched some TV shows. What shows were you watching?
Sheldon and I already finished the Fallout show. Pedro's not yet.
Yeah,
we're
so we
kinda
watched a couple episodes there.
rewatching a couple with him. That's something.
I like it.
It's great.
I like the show.
Yeah, I think it's better than anybody thought it was going to be.
Yeah, so
Probably.
when I first heard about the Fallout show, I just assumed it was going to be garbage. I wasn't even going to pay any attention. I thought it was just a cash grab. Then my cousin messages me. He's like, did you watch the show? It's actually really good. I was like, there's no way. So My goal last week was to run every single day for the week. I managed to do 5 out of the 7 days. Ended up being busy with Southern visiting. I wasn't expecting that, but so I watched the first episode while running at the gym, and I was like surprised by like how innovative it was. Like they really knew exactly what they wanted to make, and they're doing a good job of making it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I never really played the Fallout games, but I've seen some things, and it seems like they're doing a really good job about making the show true to the games, while also not just completely catering to them and alienating potential people who have never watched it. But so far, the music is great, the costume design is great, the humor is good. It's just 3 episodes in, and I don't have too many complaints.
I mean, I could tell you it gets better. And
Yeah,
it actually
I think
and it pays off.
I think there's elements that are really, really good near the tail end of the show.
Okay.
Everything it sets up, it really pays off. Like you don't feel it until the last episode.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Last episode was
the
really...
last episode is very good.
How many episodes?
There's 8. So
Okay.
you have like what, 5 more?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Man, yeah, that last episode, I was like, wow, that was good. That was really good. It was actually really funny. I know there was going to be a Fallout movie back in the day when Bethesda bought the rights. They wanted to do a movie a long time ago.
I didn't know that.
But what ended up happening was, I don't remember if it was around COVID or maybe a little bit before then, but yada, yada, yada. They were like, okay, we're not going to do the movie. So they actually just like released the script and were like, hey, like whatever, we're not going to do anything with it. So then they had to rewrite the whole new thing for the show because they already released the script. So they had to come up with a whole new show. So it was pretty funny on like, they were like, oh, we're not going to do anything. We're never going to make a movie because video game movies don't work, you know? And then lo and behold, now they're making one.
That's kind of why I assumed it was going to be bad. It's just like been burned too many times from these video game live actions where a lot of them you can clearly tell that the person making the show doesn't give a crap about the source material. You kind of saw it with The Witcher after season 1.
Halo.
The Last of Us, Arcane, like all of them just...
Okay, ignore those.
Wait,
ignore those.
one
last
of
two.
those
Yeah.
was incorrect.
Yeah, one of those was correct.
Which one?
The other 2 were incorrect. He's saying that they weren't as good. You're telling me The Last of Us and Arcane were both not good?
Oh, sorry, I didn't pick up on Arcane and Last of Us. Okay. The Arcane one is the one that jumped out at me immediately. That show's phenomenal and
Well, I think
probably not going to last much longer, unfortunately.
See, Selden told me about. Okay, can we talk about this, or is
Talk
it,
about
or is
what?
this too
What can we talk
inside?
about?
It
It's probably too inside.
probably too inside, but
But we'll talk about it anyway.
Because I think it's bullshit. There's no way.
let's just say animation is extremely expensive, especially when you're trying to do it to that quality.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, we'll see. They just need to make it link to the game better. They need to like keep people in the
No,
game.
they want to keep. No, absolutely not. They need to keep people away from that game. That's their issue. That's honestly the biggest issue. Is that they're linked with that fucking game.
Yeah, honestly.
If the game was actually fun, for the casual audience.
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. There's no such thing as fun games anymore. Name a fun game. Boom. Did you see that? That dead silence?
You didn't let me finish. Supermarket Simulator.
Oh my god. This
I've
guy's
been
playing so
grinding the
much.
Supermarket Simulator, bro. My shit's looking good.
That's crazy. Sudoku. That's a fun game.
That is a fun game. I've been hearing a lot of great things about Hades.
Oh, the new one?
with 2
yeah,
coming out.
That's true.
Although I did see someone call it basically a glorified DLC. I never played the original. I know a lot about it because Chloe used to play it a shit ton. But I know it's super popular, so there seems to be a lot of excitement about the second one coming out.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say Gaming Zed, but there's actually been some bangers lately. Hades is a pretty good one, but that's like I said, they kind of glorified it. Not saying it's a bad thing because it's kind of exactly what the people wanted.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Lethal Company's awesome, but like major titles are like dead now. Like back in the day, you used to have like so many like fun games coming out all the time. Now it takes literally an indie developer to come up with something that's like legitimately fun. Like otherwise, you get EA and Riot making.
I mean, I think you'll have some sleeper hitters. I think Helldivers 2 is a good example of that.
Right now, you want to talk about that?
Well, yeah. Now's a great time to talk about it because they finally fucking walked back on it. That was...
People were so certain that Sony would refuse to walk back on that too.
The game got over 200,000 negative reviews in the course of 2 days.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that
On
is actually
Steam.
crazy. Sometimes the internet's a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Which I think is deservedly so because I think the thing is bullshit. I mean, there's people that are saying, "Oh, just make an account." Well, like, you just blocked like hundreds of countries from being able to play it.
Okay, here's the thing. So from what I read, technically, Sony's official stance on it is if you can't register in a country because it's not supported there, they just tell you to register in a country that is supported, even though that's against their terms of service. That's kind of dumb, though.
I didn't hear that. I just said that, oh, we've heard your feedback and we will no longer be required.
No, this is before.
No,
This is before they
so I'm
walked
saying,
back
like,
on it.
for example, let's say you buy a PlayStation in a country that doesn't support the PlayStation Network. If you message their support team, they'll literally tell you to just register in a different country. Yeah. Even though if you read their terms of service, it explicitly says you're not allowed to do that.
I didn't see anything like that floating around on Twitter. I'm just kind of shocked that people are like, oh, and they actually want you to break this, but then they do this.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing. Sony has never had any data leaks ever for private information. So, like, it's just like...
Who hasn't at this point, though?
Yeah.
I mean, Sony is like... They've had a few.
Sony's stacking them up.
Yeah, seriously. So it's just kind of like another thing to, like... It's just everything. Like, why do I have to sign up for 1 million fucking services to play one game?
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
So, that's honest. It's good news that they redacted. Because the game... I don't know if you've played it, Pedro, but the game is fun as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's legitimately better than it should be.
Right.
Like, it's...
I agree.
You can have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, a lot of people did the refund thing, and I thought it was cool of Steam to realize that, hey, this is fucked up.
Oh, Steam was not going to take that PR hit.
For people, that was smart. Hopefully, this gets people to come back. I don't know. I mean, just because I genuinely think that the developers of the game really care about it, and they did a really good job. So, it's a solid fucking game. And so I want to see it succeed and see it happen. I was like, oh, god damn it. But now that it's gone, hopefully it's just sort of smooth sailing from here on out.
So, this is Helldivers 2, right?
Yes.
So there is an original Helldivers?
Yeah, but it's totally different. It's like Fallout 1, where it's like a top-down, like, strategy, like, it's a totally different game.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got the same... It's got, like, lore that all continues over and everything, but the gameplay is totally different.
Okay.
But, I mean, it was like, it's like a product of its time, you know what I mean, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But the second one's really fun, like, just
It's so fun.
It's really tight, too. I'm kind of surprised. Like, it's kind of hard to like, hit all those things right. Like, solid gameplay plus, like, really good, like, idea for a story and, like, really tight controls. Like, you know what I mean?
It's just smooth. Yeah.
I just didn't really go into Last of Us. We want to talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
The show came out last year.
So, officially, we're not spoiling anything.
Yeah. So
I don't think that's what officially or spoiling means, but okay.
Anyway, show came out last year. I watched it live as it came out. You started it, but never finished it.
Classic.
How many shows have you... I mean...
Just off the top of my head, Breaking Bad. I had to get the whole Discord to basically threaten to kill me to watch that show. We went back and watched all of Better Call Saul, then watched Breaking Bad. So that was one of them. Ozark, I still haven't finished. The House of Dragon, I haven't finished. Last of Us, I hadn't finished. There's tons of shows that are... Lost, I haven't finished. Just so many shows that I keep starting.
He just really likes watching shows at the beginning.
Maybe I just hate endings.
Maybe.
Technically, the ending can never be as good as I would want it to be. So
it ends better in his head.
Yeah.
So
but anyway,
you started Last of Us. Have you finished it now?
Now I have. We finished it 2 days ago. Finally watched the last... Was that 3 episodes or 2?
For you, it would have been 3, but... So, Selden had not seen it at all. And I was playing part 2 on the couch in the living room. And I was showing him, like, this really cool part where there's... it's like a... You fight this crazy, mutated, infected monster. And then I don't know what we got on. I was like, I just want to watch the show, the first episode. So we did, and then we watched the second one. And it was 4 a.m. I was like, oh, I guess I'll go to bed. And then the next night we watched like a few more. We watched the Bill and Frank episode, and then the both Kansas City episodes, and then the next night we finished it with the Final Four. And then you watched it with us.
Yep.
Because you hadn't seen those last.
Yeah, I had stopped basically a quarter of the way into the mall episode, I want to say. Don't remember why I stopped. Must have been doing something, and then I just didn't get back around to it like I normally do.
Yeah.
Honestly, let's talk about the Bill and Frank episode. If you didn't like that episode, you're a fucking hater. That episode was good. That was like one of my favorite episodes, easily.
It was a very good episode. And it really hit us at the right time, too, because the first 2 episodes we were watching, Seldon's next to me talking about, okay, dude, we need to become preppers.
Yeah.
Like, we need to start stockpiling on this stuff. I was like, so let's think about, like, when this breaks out, you know, we'll board up the house because we don't want anybody coming here. We'll park the cars out back.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we'll go to a school that's nearby and get like the wood from the desks and use that to reinforce the house.
I was saying they probably have batteries. Schools probably have hella batteries.
Yeah, battery, like, you know, little batteries and stuff like that. And then I'm like, all right, dude, just wait. There's literally an episode coming up that's going to just hit it right there. And the beginning where Bill has, like, everything all set up. He's got his whole shebang, and he waits for all the military to evacuate everybody. And then he literally has all town to himself, and he builds, like, this insane fucking community that lasted 20 years and probably would have kept going had they both not died.
Yeah.
So, like, that's literally insane. That's like the prepper's dream.
Yes.
So, and I mean, but other than that, obviously, I mean, it was a very good episode. The acting was really good. The writing was good. I mean, a lot of people called it filler. I mean, in the filler sense, sure. But there is such a thing.
It progressed the story, though.
There's such a thing as good filler. I mean, the only story it progressed was Joel and Ellie got a truck.
Yeah.
Which they immediately lost in the next episode.
But it also gave way more backstory. Well, they still traveled hella far with that truck. I mean, let's not go over that.
No,
they wouldn't have got that far.
They traveled farther in the show than they did in the game. In the game, they only made it to Pittsburgh before losing the truck. In the show, they made it all the way to Kansas City, which that's like halfway.
But my thing was, they got a truck, and it elaborated way more on, like, Tess, and a lot more, honestly, on, like, Joel and his motivations. Because, like, in reality, Joel's got, like, I don't know, like 4 guys. He's got his brother, he's got Bill and Frank, and he's got Tess. Yep. And that's it. And Tess dies. He goes to Bill and Frank's because he literally tells her, like, on the way, is like, well, Frank's nice, and he's, you know, you can imagine that he's like, okay, I'm finally going to get to see these guys spin a little bit, you know. But he knew something was up because of the radio station. So he was like, he knew something was up. So then when he gets there, he's like, damn. And then the note they left was like, here, use all of our stuff. Like, basically, you can have everything. You and Tess can have everything. And he's like, I don't have Tess. Like,
yeah.
So then he's like, I got to get my brother. Like, I have to get to my brother. And so I like that a lot. And, like, they needed the truck. Like, I mean, like, that's, like, big story element. Like, I definitely don't. I wouldn't deem it as filler, though. Anyone that says it's filler has never watched an anime. Let me say that.
Or The Walking Dead.
Yeah, no shit.
But aside from that, the clicker episode at the beginning of the show, that scene is so good. Mm-hmm. Just hearing the little click clacks like around the corner, and then everyone is just on the same page. Even Ellie like gets it, like, okay, I guess I need to shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And hearing them, like, seeing the shadows move behind these shelves, and them the physical actors for the clickers did a really good job with, like, the twitching and the weird stuff that they do. I mean, it's adapted perfectly.
Yes.
It's so good. It's so good.
I'm pretty sure I remember the scene in the game being very similar to how it was in the show.
Yeah, I mean, a lot more infected because it's a video game.
Yeah.
But and the show made it, like, more grounded. Like, these things are actually hard to take out.
Yeah.
And they showed it. I mean, they shot them like a shitload of times, and they weren't going down, and, you know, all this other stuff. And it's very, very good. That's one of my favorite scenes. Honestly, just the writing, like the story writing and the dialogue. Like, it's so good.
It's got to be one of the most realistic dialogues I've ever seen in a show, where everything felt incredibly real and natural. Like, the characters, for the most part, stayed true to themselves, and sometimes when they slipped, it was because it made sense. It wasn't like bad writing where suddenly they're doing actions
Yeah,
that
just
don't
so
make sense.
pissed off at each other for no reason.
Yeah.
Because the story needs it.
Yeah.
Like, and that, well, honestly, one of the key writing moments that stood out to me was when they wrote the Predator, the preacher.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't write him like a cartoony, like, you know, like
Evil.
stereotype, whatever.
Yes.
Like that's how actual predators are. They like say like it could be us together. Like you're so important. You're not like the others. They
Yes.
make the victims feel like it was way more than just like, you know, like cartoonily, you know, done. Yeah, it was like super real. Like
I will say I think that part of the story, I think the game handled a little better. It just feels a little bit more satisfying, I think, when like this whole time you're swapping back between like LA. When you play as LA, you're running away from this entire town that's hunting you down. It's in the middle of a blizzard, so you're like ducking between houses and getting stealth kills when you can because you're just a kid. Like you can't find them on one-on-one. They just kill you, and then you'll swap over to Joel, who's kidded and who's coming after you, and then just going through everybody, and you're ready for Joel to come in and save you. But then you play that section as Ellie in the restaurant when it's starting to burn down around them, and Ellie saves herself. So in the show, Joel doesn't get to see what happened. He probably gets it, but he didn't actually see it with his eyes. In the game, he does.
Yeah,
He's the
we
one
talked
that stops her.
we talked about this briefly yesterday while we were watching, and I honestly do think it was a little bit because they needed a little bit of padding in the final episode, the first like 10-15 minutes, basically showing him coming to understand like what she just went through.
I don't think so, because that's pretty toned the same as the games. That whole giraffe section leading up and them like chilling and talking before the fireflies show up, that's almost like 1-to-1. So it's the point still conveys. He still gets it, and I just think it plays a little better if he
pulls her
literally
off.
witnesses and pulls her off of the guy. Yeah. But aside from that, I mean, they did the ending perfectly. The whole hospital scene was shot so good.
Oh, dude, that part was
It's
crazy.
so there was like some line deliveries in that show that were just
Yeah.
so cold.
They were
so
fantastic, dude. What was the line to
You want your vengeance? That one?
Yeah, the preacher actually has some pretty.
He cooked.
Yeah, he actually has some pretty good lines. He was like, "You guys want your vengeance so bad, deliver it." Like that was sick.
Yeah,
that was good. And then Joel fucking dude, Joel turns into literally the fucking T-1000 like in that final episode. This dude, honestly, I'm almost a little surprised that he let those nurses live, but like. The other guy who literally puts down his gun and then Joel shoots him anyway, he's like, he did not give a fuck. Like,
I mean, you could have came after him.
Yeah.
I mean, the nurses could have done it too.
Nah.
They very clearly weren't a threat. It's a little different from executing a guy that was surrendering from a gun who was trained.
He shot the doctor.
The doctor said I wouldn't let you. He said I won't let you. He grabbed the scalpel and boom, just shot you.
The nurses could have grabbed scalpel.
If they grabbed one, he would have shot them. Let's be real.
The fact that they witnessed him killing that guy was enough to tell them.
Probably.
Yeah.
At that moment, it seemed like he didn't give a shit about who he killed.
No, he did. He literally did.
He literally didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was just trying to save some ammo, I think. That's why I didn't shoot the nurses.
Very good show. All in
Yes.
all. Like, it was actually time to have an adaptation, a live-action adaptation of a game done not subpar, not like okay, actually really good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I think Last of Us definitely had a lot of things that made it easier to accomplish that, specifically because it is such a story-driven game, whereas there's a lot of other games, for example, Assassin's Creed, where there is like story to it, but the story is kind of complicated and muddied. And
You don't play Assassin's Creed to do this to actually enjoy the story. I'm sure there's a small percentage
Yeah.
of people out there.
Yeah.
There's games serve different purposes.
yeah, but when you play Last of Us, the story is the
why you
point.
play. That's why a lot of people were pissed off with the second one, because for a lot of people, and understandably so, in a lot of aspects, they did not like the way they did not like the story in general, or the way that the story was told or conveyed,
Yeah.
which I totally get. I used to not like the game at all, but I've played it 2 or 3 times, and I think it's really solid. It helps that the gameplay of that second game is arguably the best combat in any video game I've ever played. It's so good. It's done so well.
I think the game, the story is tight. I just think the way it was told is like it could have used some work.
Yeah. It definitely needed a little bit more time to cook in the oven, but it's nowhere near as bad as it had originally
thought,
been
yeah.
conceived. But, well, I mean, don't really need to go into it that much, but that's kind of my take on that. So
It'd be interesting to see what the show does if they do it better.
the changes from the first game to the show were, I mean, they pretty much followed along almost to a T, but there was a couple of different variations, and I feel like the variations that they could take for the second game story could really help tighten things.
Yeah.
There's some decisions that I think they should make, that they may or may not, that would really help with the way that they're going to change it. A lot of people think the big thing's going to change. That's not.
No, I don't.
That's literally the whole point of the game.
And I think they even built up more of it
In the show, I agree. So, I mean, that's pretty much the Last of Us show, though. I mean, I think we all pretty much agree that it was really good.
9 out of 10, I'd say.
Oh,
8.5.
Yeah, probably. I think I gave it an 8 in my thing. I made a video ranking. I watched like 10 shows that I watched last year, and it made it to number 5.
Okay.
Dang. Number 5. What were the other?
Well, you have to watch. You have to watch this episode.
All right, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it, but
No, yeah. I mean, you'll probably start it and then.
yeah. I'll never find out what number 1 is, but I'll know like 5 to 3.
Well, you could probably guess what number 1 is.
Yeah, I think I know. You said from last year?
Yeah.
So
year.
Succession?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Shitty show.
I need to watch that eventually.
I've never seen an episode of it, but I'm sure it's a great show. But
I was almost going to say we should watch the first episode, but Yin really wants to watch that show with you. So,
With me?
yeah.
I'm telling you, he loves arguing with me. Like, you guys you guys think like we're just fighting, but like, I'm pretty sure both of us enjoy it.
That was honestly one of the highlights of the Better Call Saul / Breaking Bad saga of the Discord.
Was me and
you
Yin
Yin
arguing?
getting in the most random bullshit fucking arguments.
I'm telling you, we gotta make content out of like us watching these shows because I swear me and Yin are hilarious together, bro.
dude, Yin loves arguing. You don't argue with Charity all the time. You don't just like.
Right, really?
Yeah.
That's
Charity
awesome.
will say something, just misspeak even a slight little way, and then Yin will just pick up on it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Just be like,
The thing is, when he does that to me, I obviously like say shit back, but like,
Charity just goes, Yin, I swear to God.
that's really funny.
So what about tornadoes?
Tornado.
Boring as fuck, dude. Tornadoes are so boring.
Well, the one cool thing that came out about that tornado was like so many
tornado?
fucking sex toys and sex
The
dolls.
one in Nebraska that was like 2 weeks ago.
Right. That was crazy. Yes.
That was kind of crazy.
It was, I don't know if they went through a sex shop or something, but there was everything everywhere.
Yeah, like
Wasn't it like a giant fucking
Yes.
blow up?
It wasn't a blow up though. It was like one of those freaking.
Latex or rubber.
Yeah, super-
like rubber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like super. I'm pretty sure those things are like thousands.
Where'd they find it? Just in the street?
Literally, yeah.
It was like in the rubble of a house.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, if I found that, never mind. They're meant to be cleaned,
I was
right?
gonna
They're
say-
meant to be.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, that's just a good-hearted citizen's like, oh my god, look what I found. Told the news. What about all the ones that were found by other people that said, I'm keeping this for myself?
I wonder in a situation like that. I wonder if they ever find like bodies that like
Oh.
it's like no. I'm talking about like this guy killed 3 people and buried them under their floorboards, and then the tornado just exposed bodies.
I don't think that's ever happened before,
Yeah.
but
Like that'd be kind of
maybe
crazy.
it would be crazy, which is why it probably hasn't happened. But
There has been cases of people finding bones on a property arresting the person that lived there for whatever, or they arrest a person on whatever charge, and then they find bones in the property, and then the person admits to committing a murder, but that wasn't actually the bones of the person they killed, and then later they found the person's bones. So like it's happened a couple times, I know, with like a husband whose wife went missing, and so they bring him in for interrogation, and while they're interrogating him, they're searching, obviously, and they found bones, and they said, oh, we found bones of your property. And then he's like, oh, okay, I killed my wife, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, they tested the bones. It wasn't her bones. And then they went back, and they found the actual bones.
That's actually crazy.
She went missing, and they immediately found bones?
That's kind of crazy, right?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like
she'd have to be missing for a while before bones start showing, unless he intentionally...
That's the thing. They found bones. They told them they found bones, or maybe they said they remains, but it was literally old bones. And they didn't test him at the time. They just said, well, we found these bones, and then he just confessed. And then when they did test him, they were like, oh, these aren't hers, and so then they went back.
That's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then the man sues the criminal justice system and gets off scot-free.
Yeah, I wish.
What's crazy is I should actually see that happen.
Yeah, definitely. But...
lawyer up, right?
Yeah. So...
Oh, there it is. I couldn't see it for a second, so I was like, what the fuck is he pointing at?
But anyway, yeah, back on the tornado thing.
Steph really wants to talk about tornadoes.
I know.
All right.
Yeah, what is it that you want to talk about so bad about tornadoes?
They're making a new Twister movie.
I did see that, actually. I'm going to be honest, it looks like trash.
Oh, of course. It's going to be, but it's going to be fun.
It almost looks, from what I saw in the trailer, it almost looks like an exact carbon copy of the... Is it just a remake?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because I didn't notice anything that was different.
I mean, horror movies are doing this thing lately where they will go back to the original but make like a direct sequel 40 years later and hire the cast that's still alive from there to play the characters. Halloween did it. Evil Dead did it.
Yeah,
Texas
Scream.
Chainsaw did it. Scream did it.
Yeah, Scream even coined the term requels.
Yeah, but so maybe they're doing something like that, but the only person that they can really bring back is the girl, Helen Hunt. Bill Paxton's dead. Philip Seymour Hoffman's dead. And then the guy from Saving Private Ryan, the one that you were talking about how you hated him so much.
I despise that.
They could bring him back.
Pedro, watch the movie. Oh, I hate this movie.
I was young when I first saw Saving Private Ryan, so it's like I couldn't really separate the difference between like an actor and like
Them in real life.
the character in the show. So like I hated that guy for so long. I was like, what a fucking pussy! I cannot believe he let him do that. And then the way the freaking German soldier just like walks out of the room, looks at him, and kind of just walks, because that he just knew that guy was like,
Well, because he was the guy that fought for his life.
Yep.
You know, they had captured that soldier earlier in the movie, and they were going to kill him, but the guy fought for, to have his squad let him go. And so they put a bandana around him and sent him towards... They thought that he was going to get picked up by the Allies, because they couldn't take him, because they were on a mission. But then, obviously, he got picked up by his dudes and threw him back into rotation.
Yep.
So he saw him and knew that he was the one that and so he didn't kill him. He just walked right past him. And then he killed him 5 minutes later. But
too late. Doesn't matter at that point. Dude, I swear to God, it doesn't matter at that point, dude.
that's a good ass movie.
One of my all-time favorite movies. The opening scene is got to be the best opening scene to a movie or a war movie ever. Like, it's just incredibly iconic.
The same guy that shot Nope.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that was like, we just watched a video about it. James DeGenis talks about it. The cinematographer.
That's crazy. I actually didn't notice that.
He said it in the video.
I was half asleep.
When did y'all watch the kill count?
He was napping, and I went in his room.
Yeah.
He literally laid right next to me, and I'm turned away from, because what I'll do is I'll like put on a YouTube video. I'll put a timer on my phone to like turn everything off, not the actual film, but turn off any videos or whatever for like half an hour, and then that way, like in the middle of the video, I'll be asleep, and then it'll cut off the noise and everything. But yeah, someone just came up next to me, laid down, started watching the video, and I'm like half asleep over here every now and then. He says something, I have to turn back over and look at it.
He did not turn back over. He
rolled
his whole body over the other way.
Yeah.
There was one time he popped up when James and you said something. He goes, "Oh, I didn't know that." I said, "What didn't you know?" I was like, "What are you talking about?"
He rises from his sleep. It's like, oh, that was interesting.
Literally, yeah, that actually happened once or twice. What did he say?
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I'm all.
That was a good ass movie.
Yeah, Nope was super good.
Selma and I just watched it for the first time last week. And
I can't believe neither of you had watched it.
it just never got around to it.
I still haven't seen
Get Out?
Get Out.
That's true. We have to watch that. We should watch that tomorrow.
Yeah, Get Out is. Well, we gotta watch Hangover 3 first.
True. Get Out is the better movie than Nope, but Nope is more fun, obviously, because...
I mean, Get Out is still his best movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Get Out deals very much with a very...
So, like, Us is have a great, good time. Funny. Nope blends that funny with horror
Yes.
perfectly. There's nothing funny about Get Out.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
maybe a couple of lines.
It's-
but Get
There's
Out
a little
is
bit of dark humor.
A little bit.
Yeah, where it's kind of like...
his buddy is mainly the only
Yeah, true.
of it, but like most of the tone, like the stuff that happens in the movie is very serious.
Yeah, there's some of it where it's like so bad, or not so bad it's funny, but like it's so ridiculous that it's funny.
Yeah.
Where it's
I know
like,
what you mean.
where you know that this is something that happens in real life, but it's like seeing it almost like, it's like, that can't be real, right? Like people can't be this dumb, and then you realize that they can be. Yeah.
No, very good movie. Nope was great. Yeah. The design of the fucking alien was
I was just telling
so
someone.
fucking sick. It was
Gorgeous, literally
so
incredible.
cool.
It reminds me of a Portuguese Man of War kind of, but like
Yeah, that's what it was inspired. Yeah, a lot of it
Yeah.
inspiration around that stuff. We should do a challenge. We should get sung by Man of War for a video.
What the hell is wrong with this guy?
How big are Man of Wars?
You don't get to sung by the whole thing. Just
They're
a little
huge.
Bit. They're really.
They're
big.
literally the biggest jellyfish.
They could be like 30 feet or something.
Yes.
They're not jellyfish though, technically.
Is it 30 feet or 30 meters?
I don't know. But I don't think they can get really, really, really long. I mean, they're not like
30 meters is fucking big. There's
they're
no
like
way.
they're like this big, but they can get really long.
Yeah.
But they're not jellyfish, so
I didn't know that actually. That's crazy.
yeah. Anyway, that's a really good idea for a video. So, speaking of videos,
We are not getting stunned by a Man of War.
I like the idea. Speaking of videos, we got some really cool
will
videos coming
film you
out
doing it.
later on. I love the idea. You could pee on my leg. I would love that too.
That doesn't even work. That's a myth.
We'll test that. We'll be our own Mythbusters. So we got a lot more videos coming out. Make sure to check them out. Is there anything else that you guys want to hit on?
So I know we said it in our last podcast, which was in January of last year, that we were supposed to do this last year, but I never got around to it because mainly I've just been fucking lazy.
Well, no one watched that, so it's okay.
Yeah. We will be launching the second channel for...
I cannot wait till the next.
No, but like for the thing we're planning next month,
That's
the
gonna be the
game.
launch.
Yeah, that goes on the new channel.
Nice.
I believe it when I see it.
You're gonna be the one editing this, so.
We're all
I
editing
was gonna
it.
say no. This is a full.
No,
This is gonna be
we're
a
gonna
full
need
team
everybody,
job.
yeah.
All hands on deck for this, but it's actually gonna happen because the things that we go do, like I want to make a video about Utah. I want to do like
Never been.
literally shut the fuck up. All the shit that we got up to last year, or I mean, even whatever we did yesterday.
That was a lot of fun yesterday. And Big Ben will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really hope my job doesn't screw me over and I can actually do that.
Well, then could preemptively take the time off. Can they?
He's scared. It's okay. We'll get into it later. It's not. It's whatever. Not podcast talk. We're good.
We'll plan Big Ben around the moon. By the way, we need to make
Yeah,
sure that
we want it to be a new moon.
Yeah, it can't be no full moon.
Yeah, he went there in a full moon so he couldn't see the
The
stars.
whole point is that you want to fucking you're in zero light
Okay.
pollution, right?
Whatever the point is to you, it's fine.
You literally were the one that brought
I
it
thought
up.
we were just going there. Are we climbing?
In Big Ben. Not really a whole lot of stuff to climb. We can hike, but
I don't know. I've never been.
yeah, there's
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 like
We'll
a bend,
figure it
right?
out.
there's mountains, sure.
Is there a big bend?
The whole thing is a bend.
Oh, okay.
It's the river. That's why they named it Big Bend. It's that little part where Texas is hung like a little nutsack. That's Big Bend.
I don't know if I've ever.
What did he
described
just say?
Texas like that. Anyway, anything you want to give a shout out to real quick?
No, I'm good.
That's crazy. You're allowed to say so cringe. We can always edit it out.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know why my first thought was to say shout out to my Crips.
Oh, last night
Oh yeah.
that was crazy.
That guy was like, "He ain't no real crip."
You ain't a real crip. And Selden goes up to him and is like, "You gonna have to teach him some manners." Like, man.
Yeah, we were walking in downtown Dallas. After we were looking for parking, we were walking towards the. Was this on the way back or was this?
Oh, it was on the way there.
It was on the way to.
Yeah, so on the way to the shuffle board bar, there was these two dudes arguing on the other side of the street. And at first, I didn't realize they were arguing with each other.
Yeah, I thought they were walking like basically holding hands.
Yeah, like they seemed completely cool, and then like they just started like screaming. Like someone said, "That guy's a bitch, and so are you." Blah blah blah. And like, fast forward, like they cross the street in front of us and keep arguing. Then they kind of go their separate ways, and then one guy's like, "You ain't even a real crip." Blah blah blah. And the guy keeps walking. Then he walks by us, turns around, and sounds like. You ain't gonna let him say that to you, right?
I was just instigated.
Yeah, he literally was instigated. He was like, "You gonna have to teach him, huh?" Or something like that.
Yeah, it was something
He's
crazy.
Like, oh, weak ass boy.
Yeah, that shit was so funny. And then freaking turns out where we were in Dallas yesterday was
There was a shooting. There was a shooting and he died.
what? That did not happen. Just a couple hours before, apparently Deep Ellum was trending.
It wasn't a couple hours. It had to have been 30 minutes max.
Are you serious?
Yeah, before we got there.
We missed it by half an hour.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So there was like a huge, like
Street brawl.
Street of girls. It was all girls just getting into a huge street brawl.
We could have been there. Dinner and a show.
Time finding parking for like 20 fucking minutes, and then we were jerking off in some garden that was already closed for 2 hours.
That did happen actually.
If we hadn't fucked around in the garden, we would have seen the fight.
There's no way it was half an hour.
Dude, I'll pull up the video. The lighting is almost the same, like at the time of day.
Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next podcast. I mean, this is just like a one-off one thing. I'm not committing that we're gonna have another one next week or anything, but we'll probably have more soon.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 years.
No, a year. I mean, 7 months. 7 months. Yeah, usually.
We will definitely have one talking about our game post.
Yes.
Game. I think that sounds like a really cool idea to have one talking about the stuff that we get up to that doesn't make it on camera.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of it too. Yeah. So I mean, 90%.
Maybe we'll have something in between. Who knows? But we'll definitely do one for the game.
Yeah.
And that's not even count. Most of the stuff, it doesn't make it on camera. We shoot. We just never put it to a video.
Yeah.
Like.
But that's it for the first IRL podcast that we've ever done. Not bad.
It was fun.
Not bad. Not bad little setup. Pretty simple. So.
It'll be better next
see how it
time.
all looks in post. Yeah.
Richard? Be a fun little project for you to edit.
Yeah, good luck with that. I'm not helping you.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Throw all the editing on Richard. What's new?
Actually, Pedro needs to edit this one.
It will literally never come out.